Welcome back to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. We are a bit on the roll, covering the Transatlantic Cup, the championship currently ongoing, and this is round 3, so races number 5 and 6 out of 10, with the Ginetta G40, the GT5 car, this time in the Watkins Glen circuit, a relatively short circuit, as we are using the short version that's used by NASCAR, not the long version that was used by Formula 1 and IndyCar a few years ago as well. We have quite a full grid here at Watkins Glen. It's going to get crowded here on the track, and it is Delphi Moura, the driver that won the last 2 races, that is on pole position, followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Diogo Silva. These 3 drivers have generally qualified first, second and third for the last 3 races. Let's see what they can do. Darren Head in 4th, Scott Davely in 5th, Simon Allen in 6th place, Jumbo and Peter Adrian share the 4th row, Liam Charnley, good to see him back, in 9th, David Emge in 10th, Stephen Franklin in 11th, Kev Allen only 12th. He's not enjoying this combo. Let's see what he can do in the race. And John Scott in 13th place. We have a 15-lap race. It's a relatively short lap around here. You can see drivers on the grid are relatively spaced out. We do expect to see a bit of action later on in the first lap, and the way they go, and Delphi Moura has had a good start, so has Darren Head, that goes up into 3rd place, overtakes Diogo Silva. Those red and black cars more or less together in this early part of the race, but it's that number 29, which was number 30 in the second round, is in the lead. Look at this, some side-by-side action there with a bit of a gap there in the midfield, and everyone was behaving quite nicely on the first lap. No major incidents to note. In fact, no incidents to note so far as they go through the chicane and maintain the relative positions. Delphi Moura is already out of the chicane and is under pressure from Jorge Jesus, the man in 2nd place. Diogo Silva in Darren Head in 3rd, Diogo Silva in 4th. It's Darren that has the middle part of the car in black, and Diogo has the middle part of the car in red. Darren running number 49 and Diogo Silva running number 50, sorry, as they are about to complete the first lap. And look at Jorge Jesus, he's really getting close to Delphi Moura now on the last corner of this Watkins Glen circuit, and it's going to be the first lap complete of this race with Delphi Moura leading, Jorge Jesus 2nd, Darren Head, Diogo Silva, Simon Allen up into 5th, Scott Davely 6th, 7th is Peter Adrian, and the pressure from Jumbo. You can see they almost went side by side in the first corner. Didn't quite work there for Jumbo, but that number 40 is definitely under pressure for 7th place. Then is Jumbo, then is David Emge. Good start from David, getting 1 position. 10th is Kev Allen, 11th is Liam Charnley, that has lost a couple of positions. Then is Stephen Franklin and John Scott in the 13th. Everyone is still running, and look at this, there's already side-by-side action there with Darren Head, Diogo Silva. Darren Head, Diogo Silva, Darren Head protecting the inside, and probably that's going to be it for the time being, as the line into the chicane does not allow to be run side-by-side. Darren Head runs wide there, Darren Head runs wide. Look at this, this is going to be difficult to defend at the exit there. But Simon Allen wants a piece of that action. We've seen how aggressive he can be in the previous round. He definitely wants to fight for a podium. Here comes Diogo Silva. Can he make a move there on Darren Head on the 2nd lap? On the inside, he's just too far behind. He should be side by side by now. Same problem at the front with Delphi Moura and Jorge Jesus. They are very close to one another. But oh, look at this. Darren Head is again running wide, and this is going to be it now on the outside. Diogo Silva is going to go side by side. Can he hold on to it is the question. Here comes Simon Allen. Darren Head takes the racing line. He lost that position. Here comes Simon Allen on the outside in 3rd one. This is the close racing we expect to see with the Ginetta G40, as Darren Head loses 1 position. Is he going to lose another position? Look at Simon Allen using the track and more, running side by side, and the driver behind is Scott Davely. Wants a piece of that action too. They go through the S's side by side. Who is going to get ahead? It's going to be Simon Allen. Yeah, no, it's going to be Darren Head. Now he's got the better exit. Look at this. This could be dicey because Scott Davely is coming. Scott Davely is drafting from both of them. Almost running 3 wide, but Darren Head remains ahead. Ooh, look at this. I'm now on the inside of the chicane. This could get interesting. And they ran through the chicane. Oh, look at this. Darren Head hit in the back by Simon Allen that also loses time, but they all maintain their relative positions. By the way, Jumbo has gone ahead of Peter Adrian in that number 38 car. Is running 7th now, Peter Adrian in 8th. And there's more action there with David Emge and Kev Allen. Kev Allen trying to go, he started 11th, he's already up into 10th. And Liam Charlie, by the way, has had a big problem, which we will capture because it seems to be a really big one. He's at a 1:41.011, which is a very slow time. In fact, he's almost 20 seconds slower than any other driver. So something must have happened to Liam on his return to Old Fox Racing PlayStation, and let's find out what it was. And it was at the beginning of the previous lap. Did he have any assistance or not? No, he did not have any assistance. He just went out. He was running 11, just running through the curb, and now he's gonna get stuck, almost getting collected there by Stephen Franklin. And now is a bit of a tricky turn in there because there is really no runoff. He continues the race and wisely avoids using the reset button, but is now dead last. John Scott running in 12th place. Stephen Franklin here in that number 37 car, actually not that far behind Kev Allen. Kev trying to challenge for 9th spot as we watch again the end of the second lap from the perspective of drivers in 10th, around 10th place, and Kev Allen, Steve really running wide there. You can run wide there, but the curb can be a bit dicey. Kev Allen in 10th place. He's not really enjoying this combo that much as we thought he would. It's a very drivable combo, and you don't necessarily need a lot of practice to set competitive times, but Kev Allen a little bit behind what we normally would see Kev Allen do, which is challenge at least for a podium. Now he's sitting behind David Emge and thinking about that 9th place at the chicane. Will he make a move? The answer is not really, as David Emge running very wide there and still maintaining that position. Remember, no track limits monitoring unless it's something completely unacceptable. There is a bit of flexibility for track limits, and here in Watkins Glen at the chicane we do understand if drivers side by side have to take it to the grass when going side by side. Here comes Kev Allen, and clearly he's using all the track and more as well, but didn't really gain any time by doing so, as David Emge continues to be in 9th spot. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Let's go back to the race lead, and we had a change for the lead as Jorge Jesus has actually overtaken Delphi Moura, and we will see where this happened, because it's not often that we see a change for the lead in these races, and it seems to me it was on the previous lap where, yes, let's see things from Delphi Moura's perspective. He's just lost it at the chicane, didn't he? He lost it on his own, and then he has to take it to the grass and loses the position. There he is. New leader is Jorge Jesus on lap 3 out of 15. That number 22 is now in the lead of the race. Behind we have the same positions maintained. Simon Allen has lost a bit of touch with Darren Head. Kev Allen still working there on David Emge, still in 10th place. We'll keep an eye on that battle as they now complete lap number 3. And look at this, Simon Allen really wide there in that corner. It's really easy to overdrive in that penultimate corner of this Watkins Glen circuit. But now lap 3 is of course Jorge Jesus with the fastest lap, 1:18.857. That's a very fast lap indeed. But Delphi Moura is coming back at him now on lap 4. They both run a little bit wide in turn 1. It's very easy to go above track limits in this track, and for example in NASCAR they can do pretty much whatever they want, which is a little bit the philosophy here as well. Look at this, Mora is going to go side by side, but this is just before the chicane. This is going to get interesting because he's on the outside for the chicane. He could still try to make a move, but it's a bit tricky. He tries to move on to the other side, but now he's a little bit too late, and also he's not side by side, so probably job done here for George Zouch, maintaining the lead of this race. Let's keep an eye on other battles as we still see David Emge running ahead of Kevau, and keeping an eye on that one. But look at the battle for the lead is quite interesting now on the end of lap 4 as Delphi Mora is coming back at George Zouch, and this is allowing Diogo Silva to re-lean a little bit. Look at George Zouch running wide there. Now this is running a little bit too wide, and this is going to be a real opportunity here as Delphi Mora is side by side at the start-finish straight, and he's got the inside line into turn 1. It seems to me that he's going to return to the lead very, very shortly. In fact, that's already done. He brakes later and he's done it. He's done it. He's a new leader again. Delphi Mora, he didn't lead the lap, but he's ahead of George Zouch. Seems to have the better pace at the moment. The winner of the last 2 races. Look at Diogo Silva, he's really close now. He's less than a second from the leader, as he's already in that zone where this car does have a little bit of a drafting effect. Look at George Zouch. George Zouch is going for it. This was very unexpected because he wasn't that close, but Delphi Mora surely is going to let him through. Yes, he is. He has to. Now on lap 5, and look at this, Diogo Silva. This is now a 3-way battle as they absolutely tangle with one another. Diogo Silva is coming at it, so now we have a 3-way battle for the lead. 3-way battle for the lead. This is going to get quite dicey here as Diogo Silva now moves to Delphi Mora moves to the other side as well. A little bit of weaving, pushing and shoving there as now Diogo Silva is on the inside. Almost contact there with Delphi Mora. Diogo Silva got out of it. Delphi Mora definitely wants that lead of the race. And behind we see another driver coming. Well, no, Scott Davely has gone ahead of Simon Allen. Simon Allen not going in the right direction in this race, but look at the action we have now at the front with Delphi Mora again on the inside in turn 1 as didn't quite work this time round. Lap 6 out of 15, still plenty of racing to go. George Zouch really wide there, but now it's important set of corners, these S's that lead to the straight, that lead to the chicane. Darren Head, by the way, is catching up to all these drivers as well. Scott Davely went up into 5th place. Also, Kev Allen has gone into 9th place now. But there's a wild battle here at the front as they go through the chicane. And George Zouch has lost it. George Zouch has lost it. George Zouch has absolutely lost it. He lost the lead of the race. He lost the lead of the race. He lost also 2nd place. Diogo Silva up into 2nd place, and Delphi Mora is now the leader. Look at Darren Head. Darren Head definitely wants a piece of that. He wants that podium position. George Zouch just runs wide in the chicane on his own, and then has to take avoiding action through the grass and loses quite a bit of time and momentum as Scott Davely loses the position there. That was a nice move by Simon Allen in the background. We missed it the last time it happened, but this time around we have to see it, as it seems to me that it was just Simon with a superior exit from that. In fact, they seem to be running side by side for a while there, and this was a good move there by Simon. As he gets a better exit from the chicane. He's already side by side. You can go flat out through here, and you can run side by side with that small banking. You can run side by side. Now he's side by side and has the inside line, and that's Scott Davely down into 6th, and up into 5th place is Simon Allen, where he was a couple of laps ago. Leader is Delphi Mora, and 2nd place man is Diogo Silva. The drivers that have won races so far this season, 2 each. And will we have a new winner today? George Zouch will have to do something about it. Look at Simon Allen defending from Scott Davely there in the background. Didn't quite work. Simon Allen also very close to Darren Head. In fact, Simon Allen is going to go for it. Darren Head has had a poor exit from turn 1, and he's going to lose 2 positions in one go. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is disastrous for Darren, as he was challenging for a podium just a few corners ago. Now he's down in 6th place because Simon Allen is up into 4th, and up into 5th is Scott Davely, George Jesus maintains third place, and the gap at the front is only 4/10 of a second. There they are, Delphi Moura, Diogo Silva with his headlights on, telling Delphi Moura that he's right there. Look at Darren Head now coming back at Scott Davely. That's going to be quite interesting. Look at this, a bit of weaving, pushing and shoving there here on the final straight before the final section, as Darren Head is going to go for it, and he is running side by side there, almost contact and almost lost it, but Darren Head is going to go on the outside, or is he? Because Scott Davely has got the inside, but loses a bit of momentum on the on the inside, and Darren Head seems to have now the job done, unless Scott Davely makes a bit of a dive there in turn 1, but doesn't, as Scott Davely drops down to 6th, and this allows Jumbo as well. Look at Jumbo, 1:19.979. That's much faster than the drivers in front. He's running in free air, and maybe he still has a word to say about that 5th place. Then Peter Adrian, then is Cavall in 9th, David Emge, Stephen Franklin, John Scott, and Liam Charnley. They're all still running, and we'll keep an eye on the gaps to identify any battles that we should be looking. But the big battle is at the front. Well, now the gap is half a second. It does look bigger on the picture than half a second, but still Delphi Moura does not have a huge advantage over Diogo Silva. Third place man is Jorge Jesus. Now we are at the midpoint of this race. Darren Head is coming back at Simon Howe, and Darren Head has had a small problem perhaps, because he lost momentum there all of a sudden. He was challenging for third place behind Jorge Jesus, and then in a few corners he finds himself down in 6th place, but now he's coming back. He's found that momentum back. He's overtaken Scott Davely already, and he's going to go for Simon Howe. And look at this, this is a nice exit there by Darren Head from the last corner, and he's going to go for it, and Darren Head is going to be shortly moving back into 4th place. Yes, he does. He's on the inside line, and Simon is going to have to yield on this one. He's going to have to be careful because Scott Davely is coming. Scott Davely is coming, and he's going to go for it. Oh no! No! Scott Davely and Simon Allen get together, and and Jumbo is collected as well. We'll get a replay of what happened. Of course, no damage in All Fox Racing PlayStation, and oh, look at this. Simon Allen is perhaps waiting for Scott Davely. Jumbo is going. Scott Davely does not want to use the reset button. They all lost a little bit of time. Look at this, they're down now. Oh no. Let's have a look at what happened from Scott's perspective in the chase camera. His car looks destroyed. Of course, we don't have we do not have damage in All Fox Racing PlayStation, but this battle was going quite well, and all of a sudden it comes to a sudden end. Now let's have a quick look at what happened here, because Scott was a little bit opportunistic there, but the reality is that Darren is on the inside. Simon Allen brakes, but now he's a little bit late on his braking, so he misses the apex altogether. He is now off the track. Scott Davely is inside the track, and then he moves a little bit left as Simon was coming back into the track, and the contact happens, and then Jumbo is unfortunately not going to be able to avoid Scott. Let's have a look at from Simon's perspective, just to complement this. Let's have a quick look at what happened here. As Simon Allen, really from his perspective, he has yielded now to Darren. He knows that Darren is gone. He's off the track, and he's pointing back at the track just when Scott Davely comes with a lot more momentum, and probably Simon should have left a bit more space there. Perhaps Scott could have moved a bit to the right as well, but nevertheless it was probably Scott's position there, as Simon is actually waiting for Scott. Jumbo is gone. He had nothing to do with this one. He just had a car in front of him. There goes Stephen Franklin, and Simon Allen is giving the position back to, well, he's giving the position to Scott Davely. Unfortunately, they are sitting 10th and 11th. Only John Scott, and John Scott is actually about to challenge Simon Allen for 11th. Is coming with a lot more momentum, and Simon will have to yield on this one. And by the way, Liam Charnley unfortunately has retired from the race, so Simon Allen is actually running last, as it stands. John Scott now running 11th, and he's running wide there at the chicane, and effectively he's now 12th. Simon Allen up into 11th place. 10th is Scott Davey. 9th is Stephen Franklin. Then Jumbo is in 8th. David Emge up into 7th place. He's missed all this action and is holding on very well, thank you. And he's actually very close to Peter Adrian in 6th, and Kev Allen is up into 5th place. He is 10 seconds behind 4th, but he and Peter and David are the biggest beneficiaries of these shenanigans that happened between Simon Allen and Scott David. Darren Head running 4th. He is only a second and a half behind Jorge Jesus in 3rd. And then it's Diogo Silva, who has really not lost a lot of time, but neither has he gained any time, to race leader Delphi Moura. Now lap 10 out of 15 is about to finish, so 5 laps to go at the line, so 2/3 of the race are gone, and we've had some action to comment on. With Diogo Silva is already, it's very easy to lose it in that curve, and very easy to hit that curve when the tires are not in shape, which after 10 laps they won't be. So now Delphi Moura and Diogo Silva seem to be relatively stabilized, just under a second, but Diogo does not seem to get any closer. Then is Jorge Jesus, who is 3 seconds behind Diogo, is running slower, and everyone is already running wide in all sorts of places because of tire wear. Darren Head has lost time. He's done a poor lap of 1:22.74, poor lap compared to the leaders. He's done a good lap when you compare to the next group. Next group is now effectively out of contention. It's a battle for 5th place here between Kev Allen, who started 11th, up into 5th, Peter Adrian in 6th, and by the way, something has happened to 7th place man David Emge. He has done a 1:34, and he's been in the barrier, I believe, or at least off the track. And this was at the penultimate corner. I was just commenting, he probably hit the curb. Yes, he did, on his own, and ends up in the barrier. Does not use the reset button, loses to Jumbo, and Stephen Franklin up into 8th place. There goes Scott Davey now up into 9th, and Simon Allen up into the top 10. So David Emge, who was in 7th, has had an incident that has compromised his race. John Scott is still running behind in 12th. So Jumbo up into 7th. He is effectively in the same position as he was before when he was running behind Simon Allen and Scott Davey, except now he's got Peter Adrian in 6th and Kev Allen in 5th. And he's 7 seconds, so it's going to be a bit of a stretch. So the battle for 5th is effectively between Kev Allen and Peter. The battle for the lead now, the gap is higher and is getting higher, is now over a second for the first time, as Diogo Silva does not seem to have the pace at this point to contend with another victory from Delphi Moura. And let's look at the lap times. You can see they're all pretty similar, but Delphi Moura is still managing to extract a 1:19.233 from that car at this point, and Diogo and Jorge are with 1:19.5. Nevertheless, they are still faster than Darren Head. Darren Head is losing a bit of steam now with 4 laps to go. He's done a 1:20, but he's still faster than anyone else, almost anyone else behind him. In fact, he's faster than anyone else behind him, because Kev Allen has had a poor lap, 1:21.6. He's in fact getting now attacked by Peter Adrian, who can smell that top 5 position up for grabs now in the last stages of this race, as we continue to watch the battle for 5th place, which is really the only close battle we have at this point. Things are a bit quieter now. Jumbo is running on his own, not quite. He's got Stephen Franklin behind, but not directly behind. Scott Davey in 9th and Simon Allen in 10th. These two have had recent history, so let's see what happens with them. They might already be thinking that this result is to be dropped, as from the 10 races drivers only count their best 8 results. Nevertheless, every point might be important in the ever-important championship and also the Piston Cup, which combines the points from all the championships. And Simon Allen and Scott Davey still in contention. Look at this, Simon Allen almost lost it there at the penultimate corner. He's got a good exit, and I think this is going to be job done for Simon Allen in turn 1. No, it isn't. Simon Allen still deciding on whether he's going to go for it. He's not. By the way, Delphi Moura has opened a bigger gap now, 1.6, and in fact it is maybe Diogo Silva that will have to be worried about Jorge Jesus more so than Delphi Moura worried about Diogo Silva. The gap was still Diogo only a couple of tenths slower than Jorge Jesus. Darren Head also has had a better lap now, 1:19.861. Big battle here for 9th place. Simon Allen going for it at the chicane, and it seems to me that Simon does have a bit better pace right now. And this is not a good afternoon for Scott Davey. He's just now... Oh, and Simon Allen went off! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Simon Allen completely on his own. After completing the pass, drops to 10th, drops to 11th. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And we had a problem with Stephen Franklin as well, which we have not captured, but given the severity of that problem, he's at a 144. He was running in 8th place, just behind Jumbo, and has had, oh, he's in pit lane, which is, did he have a drive-through that he just taken? Maybe he has had a drive-through for a jump start that he's only taking now. Otherwise there is no reason to be in pit lane during a sprint race of 15 laps, but he has, or did he spin into the pit lane? That's our question at the moment. Let's find out what happened, because whether this, and he has stopped. Did he? I'm not sure he meant to enter pit lane. Yes, he did not, definitely, but he, well, now he's stuck there. He could have reversed. He could have reversed, but then as he enters, the pit lane speed limiter kicks in, and then you can still drive through the pit lane as well. You don't have to stop necessarily. So a little bit of a bizarre situation here with Stephen Franklin. Not only, well, he did not mean to enter pit lane, he also could have reversed. He still had a bit of time and space to reverse before he crossed the line where the speed limiter kicks in, and then he also did not have to stop at his pit box. He could have just driven through. In any case, he's lost a bucket load of time and he's dropping to last, so he's running 12th now because Liam Charnley has retired. 11th is John Scott, 10th is Simon Allen. Simon Allen, despite the fact that he was off the track, in fact Simon Allen is 11th. Up into the top 10 goes John Scott, so plenty of shuffling still going on. John Scott, in fact, he is in 10th place and he is not that far behind David Emgis, so David from 7th to last, and now up into 9th place again, so a bit of a yo-yo race. Scott Davey has recovered to 8th place, but he's too far behind Jumbo to really challenge for 7th, nevertheless still saving a few points. Then is Jumbo in 7th, now he's completely on his own. He's behind Kev Allen, just a couple of seconds. Kev Allen has been overtaken by Peter Adrian. So Peter Adrian up into 5th place. This has happened, we haven't seen this happening, but it must have happened a couple of laps ago, because Kev Allen did a 120.9, which is not such a bad lap. So it must have happened the lap before. As you can see towards the end of the race, this is what happens really. The tires are worn out and it's just very easy to make mistakes with this car. No mistakes for Delphi Moura, who is starting his last lap and is preparing to win again. 3rd victory in a row for Delphi Moura in this championship, and is now the main championship contender. Diogo Silva finishing in 2nd place. He might still lead the championship after this. Let's see. Then is George Jesus in third. Darren Head in fourth. Peter Radin with an excellent top 5. He's 15 seconds behind Darren, but he's still running strongly. And now entering his last lap. He's on the 1:21.1. Not the greatest lap there for Peter. He's 8 tenths of a second slower than Kev Allen, but I think it's a little bit too late for Kev to challenge for that 5th place. Nevertheless, 6th place from an 11th place start is not bad at all. 7th is Jumbo that has had some action earlier on in this race. 8th is Scott Davely. 9th is David Emge. By the way, problems for John Scott again. He's dropped back to 11th. And now the last lap is on, and Simon Allen still hopes to catch, perhaps catch David. Keep an eye on that battle. Simon Allen, then John Scott, and Stephen Franklin is in 12th after that pit lane situation. Nevertheless, it is Delphi Mora that is going to win the race. Well done to Delphi, another victory, 3rd in a row. 2nd is Diogo Silva, 3rd is Jorge Jesus, and then is Darren Head. These are top 4. 5th is Peter Adrian. That's a solid performance ahead of Kev Allen and Jumbo. You can see all of them on the screen. Scott Davely running on his own in 8th place. 9th is going to be who? That's still the uncertainty, as Simon Allen is ahead of behind David Emge. And it seems to me that David is going to hold on to this. But Simon Allen with a good exit there. Now he's going for it. He's going for it on the last corner. Simon Allen. David Emge could have blocked a little bit more there. Simon Allen still in 9th spot. David Emge 10th. 11th is going to be John Scott, and 12th is going to be Stephen Franklin. He's going to be disappointed with that result. Nevertheless, almost everyone. And Stephen losing it almost there in the final corner. That concludes coverage from race 1. We'll go straight now into race 2, which is going to be the same circuit and have the same car and be the same number of laps. So, as usual, we will load the second replay of this 3rd round of Old Volkswagen PlayStation and hope for more excitement in this Watkins Glen short. International Short is the full name of this circuit. Very interesting circuit, used primarily in the NASCAR Cup Series, with some pretty good racing and incredible track limits violations, as drivers use pretty much any part of the track that has tarmac. And unlike Formula 1, they just get away with it. It's the same for everyone. It's the perspective we also take here at Old Fox Racing PlayStation, so be prepared for another 15 laps of the best action here at Watkins Glen Short. And the qualifying has already happened, and it is a surprise pole position for Darren Head. He's found the pace here ahead of Delphi Mora, winner of race 1. Diogo Silva, Simon Allen share row 2. Row 3 is Jumbo and George Jesus. Row 4, Scott Davely and Kev Allen. Row 5, Gonçalo Mota. Welcome him back. He wasn't in race 1, together with Peter Adrian. And row 6, Stephen Franklin and John Scott. And then it is David Emge in 13th place. We have not seen Liam Charnley come back. We do hope to see him in the next few rounds. Let's find out what's going to happen in this race as they all await the green light that is coming, and away they go. And it's a good start for Darren Head, but even better perhaps for Delphi Mora. Simon Allen and Diogo Silva go side by side into turn 1. That's going to be interesting, as they all seem to go through nicely there, and Darren Head maintains the lead of this race. Darren Head maintains the lead of the race, but for how much longer? Because the Delphi Mora is absolutely on it. Diogo Silva wants a piece of that action too. He managed to defend against Simon Allen in turn 1, and look at this, they all try to shoot Diogo Silva off the track there. He didn't didn't know where he was going, I believe, but look at this, there's a 3 wide, and is this all going to work here through the chicane as they go? No, Darren Head is off, and Delphi Mora is off as well. Delphi Mora is off as well. Into the lead goes Simon Allen, followed by Diogo Silva, followed by Well, Delphi recovers to have and we have everyone is slowing down because of a safety car. No, there's a collision there as well. And let's go back and see what on earth happened here, as we have our first the introduction of the safety car, which probably means there was another incident that we were not seeing on the track, and it seems to me that has involved Peter Adrian because he's dropped to last. Maybe John Scott, Gonçalo Mota may also be involved in it, but let's have a look at what happened here first with the leaders, because this was an absolute scramble here on the first lap. As well, this is from Simon Allen's perspective. He's in 4th place and he's going to end up in the lead of this race. Diogo Silva goes left and then abruptly steers to the right, goes into the grass. Lucky not to have lost it. Now Simon Allen is coming with a lot more momentum. He's up into 3rd place. Delphi Moura and Darren Head at this point are side by side. Do they make contact? They brake at normal. Oh, and the Darren is in the curve and then just lost it. And oh, and the Delphi Moura was hit there by Simon Allen, who also gets a small bump by Diogo Silva. And now Simon Allen taking the lead of the race, but that bump there was definitely avoidable contact. Now let's have a look at what happened behind with the incident that we haven't seen, that actually have generated the safety car, as it is Gonçalo Mota on the inside. Oh, and this is Gonçalo Mota on the inside of Peter Adrian there, and that number 40 is up in the air. Now they cannot use the reset button, they're not supposed to, and Peter is down into 11th. Let's look at this from Gonçalo's perspective. Seems to me a little bit of an optimistic move there at the chicane, but of course there was a concertina effect from the earlier incident. You can see that the drivers tangling, you can see drivers being cautious there through the chicane, and opportunistically Gonçalo Mota is trying to overtake, but it was a bit of an impossible move there. In fact, it generated the safety car, and this is what happened to Scott Lively as they all bunched up for the safety car. And look at this, it's pretty much everyone hitting everyone when you're just supposed to slow down and take your position. Scott Lively, is he done for the day? Because he doesn't seem to be moving. Oh no, he's pressed the reset button, but given that we are on a safety car situation and he's just been hit under the safety car, we'll probably let that one go. Peter Adrian in 13th, John Scott in 12th, Scott Lively in 11th, and to no fault of his own, will he recover his position in the race? Yes, he should recover his position, which was 8th. David Emge up into 7th. Stephen Franklin seems to have got a few positions out of, seems to have gained a few positions under the safety car, so that might be investigated later. Simon Allen leads the race from Delphi Moura, from Diogo Silva. I think they're going to restart it just about now, as they all seem, the field seems to be together again. Kev Allen and yes, they are going for it. Yes, they're going for it. And here comes Simon Allen, as he's now controlling the field, and they're all going back to speed. Simon Allen, look at this, there's pretty much more bunching up. Here comes Diogo Silva again on the inside of Delphi Moura. It didn't quite work, and George Jesus is going for it as well. George Jesus is going for it, and in fact George Jesus is up into 3rd place. And look at this, Simon Allen are they all going to run through safely through the chicane? Nice move there by George Jesus, up into 3rd place. Diogo Silva down into 4th. Jumbo in 5th. Scott Lively in 6th place, followed by Stephen Franklin, followed by Kev Allen. Darren Head is a little bit delayed. What happened? Well, he's of course, he runs out of the track on his own at the chicane. He's down into 9th place. 10th is Gonçalo Mota, 11th is Peter Adrian, and then is David Emge and John Scott. But look at this, the driver ahead of everyone is Simon Allen. Oh, he's here because the Delphi Moura is coming, and look at this, George Jesus is also coming there. George Jesus is also coming there. This is incredible racing. Delphi Moura is on the inside, and George Jesus is trying to come with him 3 wide into turn 1. Is probably not going to work as Delphi Moura completes the move. Simon Allen is dropping is still, oh look at this, the great exit there by George Zuz is going to go for the lead, and contact there, oh almost, oh dear, almost there. Look at this, Simon Owen is again into the lead of this race. This is incredible stuff. They run side by side, and somehow we didn't have a massive wreck here between Delphi Moura and George Zuz, and then Delphi Moura and Simon Owen. Diogo Silva wants to have a piece of that action too, as he's sitting in 4th place and he's trying to go around. George Zuz didn't quite work, then it's Jumbo, then it's Scott Davey, but Delphi Moura is now in the lead again. And they're still pretty bunched up there, at least the top 4 or 5, as we'll keep an eye out for any changes. Darren Head has lost more time. Darren Head has lost quite a lot of time again, so we were wondering if something happened, as we had quite an eventful first couple of laps. He's done a 1:48. Well, many drivers have had, this is the lap after the safety car, so maybe it's not extremely representative, but I'm wondering if there is another incident. Kev Allen, by the way, has lost a lot of time as well, so I'm wondering if there is another incident that we haven't seen and has happened at the back of the field, and it seems to me that might be the case. Yes, it is, as we have 3 drivers parking their cars next to one another. And what on earth happened here? Because it's Darren Head, it's actually Kev Allen, the driver at the driver that is ahead of the pack here behind Stephen Franklin. Let's see what happens as Kev loses it. Yes, Kev is losing it. Darren Head is probably not going to have anywhere to go. Oh no, he just follows him. And what happened to the other driver, I think it's John Scott, if I'm not mistaken, that, oh look at this big wreck there. Oh, and it is John Scott that hits. So 3-way incident, but really no one to blame there, as Kev Allen lost it, and so did John Scott. Presses the reset button again. He's had a penalty point in the previous round for use of the reset button. This might be another one to be investigated. Kev Allen is still going on. You can see that he's lost more time because he hasn't used the reset button. So Kev's race has been compromised, but no one to blame here, as Kev Allen just lost it on his own. Darren Head lost it on his own in sympathy, and John Scott absolutely nowhere to go. Sitting in 12th, Kev in 13th, 11th is Darren Head, and look at this, they are 7 seconds behind David Emke. 9th is Peter Adrian, 8th is Gonçalo Mota, and Peter Adrian and Gonçalo Mota are together again, so let's watch out for these two, because they've had recent history just a couple of laps ago. Stephen Franklin up into 7th, Scott Davey in 6th, Jumbo, and then is Jumbo is already part of the leading group. Look at this, look at this, as Simon Owen wants that lead back, but now just runs a little bit wide there, and maybe George Zuz is going to find a way around, or easy, because he's, oh look at this, this is now Diogo Silva said good exit, and George Zuz from predator to prey, as he was attacking Simon Owen and now is attacked and overtaken by Diogo Silva up into 3rd place. And George Zuz, oh, braking very late, it's probably not going to work there. It's probably not going to work, and yeah, up into 3rd place goes Diogo Silva. Delphi Moura continues to lead from Simon Owen, from Diogo Silva. George Zuz with that running wide in turn 1, now vulnerable to Jumbo and also to Peter Adrian, sorry, it's Scott Davey, I apologize. Scott Davey in 6th place. Plenty of action here in the first 4 laps. We hope that it does stabilize a little bit more. The safety car, of course, didn't help, as basically it bunched up everyone at the end of lap 1 almost. As pretty much you can see the top 6, sorry, in the same screen. The gap between 1st and 6th is less than 2 seconds. By the way, Gonçalo Mota is on the inside of Stephen Franklin. This is 4th position, of course, for 7th spot. Stephen Franklin now runs a little bit wide there, and is a little bit compromised, and Peter Adrian wants to take advantage of that, and he does so. So Gonçalo Mota up into 7th, and up into 8th place goes Peter Adrian. We'll keep an eye on the drivers behind this. It seems to be a big battle there between David Emge and Darren Head, and David has lost the position and seems to have been outside of the track just now. Did he spin? Or yes, he did. This is the classic as well. Exactly what happened to Kev Allen the previous lap. Just the curb. That curb is absolutely destructive. And Darren Head goes ahead up into the top 10, and David is getting back to the track. Now here comes John Scott and Kev Allen. The two yellow cars are running at the back, and John Scott, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got enough momentum to go into turn 1 ahead of David. Seems to be the case. So he's going to be ahead. Oh, he's not actually. He's not going to be ahead at all, as David continues to be in that position. Delphi Mora and Simon Allen are again at it, as Simon continues to hold on to... Oh, look at this. Delphi Mora runs wide there. Delphi Mora runs wide. Diogo Silva wants a piece of that action. Simon Allen is on the inside and back into the lead. Diogo Silva had to go defensive there, because look at this scramble. They're all like battling with one another, battling for the same piece of real estate. Now they're 2 by 2. This looks like a formation lap, except that they are at full racing speed there, as Diogo Silva up into second place. Or is he? No, he's not up into second place, and he's going to struggle to almost, he loses it. And here comes Delphi Murray, here comes George Zeus again. George Zeus on the outside. This is incredible racing, side by side again between the two drivers, as Diogo Silva and George Zeus are running side by side here at Watkins Glen in turn 1. Simon Allen returns to the lead of this race, lap 6, sorry, as Diogo Silva gets on the inside again. This was again the tricky one for George Zeus, but what a race are we having here in Watkins Glen. This is absolutely brilliant. Simon Allen holds on to that lead that he got at the chicane, but Delphi Mora seems to me he's got overall the better pace. He just has, look at this, the big back effect that we have here. And in 5th place we see there Jumbo, and Scott Davely is not far behind. Here comes Delphi Mora again. Here comes Diogo Silva on the outside, and they're all like moving left and right, and somehow they go through the chicane, and oh, Simon Allen there. Simon Allen is going to lose the lead. Surely he's going to lose 3 places, make it 4 places, and this is what a small mistake can do when you have such a tight pack. Simon Allen down into 5th now from the lead of the race. Here comes the race leader. Look at this, Diogo Silva is big defensive there on Jorge Jesus. It is still like lap 6 out of 15. A bit of a bump there between Diogo and George, but Delphi Mora now seems to have, look at this, Simon Allen is all over the all over Jumbo, who is all over oh, Diogo Silva has made a mistake there. Diogo Silva has made a mistake. He's hit the wall. He's hit the wall, and George Zeus has gone into 2nd place. Jumbo has gone into 3rd. Diogo Silva tucks in behind. Simon Allen is again an example of how tight this field is and how costly a mistake is. He was both drivers. Simon Allen in the lead, small mistake, goes down into 5th. Diogo Silva in 2nd place, small mistake, down into 4th. And this, the guy that loving this is Delphi Mora, because now he's got a bit of a comfort zone, which is around 0.6 of a second. Is not the big comfort zone, but nevertheless is at least he avoids this massive scramble that we have here with George Zeus, Jumbo, Diogo Silva, Simon Allen, and Scott Davely wants a piece of that action too. By the way, Gonçalo Mota is up into 7th. Something happened to someone, and that someone was Peter Adrian. Peter Adrian has lost a lot of ground, as he was in, well, he's lost a lot of ground, not a lot of positions. He was in 8th place, now he's in 9th. Stephen Franklin has gone ahead, but he's being under pressure from Darren Head. Let's go back to the race leaders, because this is an absolutely incredible situation. George Zeus trying to hold on to that 2nd place. Now Jumbo is the next one in line to make that move happen. Simon Allen on the inside of Diogo Silva didn't quite work there on the last corner as they go and complete another lap, and not yet at the midpoint of this race. Diogo Silva, big defensive move there on Simon Allen, but Simon is coming with a lot of momentum. They're going to go 3 wide here into turn 1. Who's going to yield here? And no one is really yet too aggressive. Simon Allen does a big exit there, and he's trying to go 3 wide again, almost. Oh, Diogo Silva has had a better exit than Jumbo and has recovered the position. He's recovered 3rd place there. He's recovered 3rd place. Diogo Silva recovers 3rd place now on lap 8, but this is not over. We can tell you this one is not over as Jumbo is coming back at him. Simon Allen is coming on the inside. Diogo Silva has got defensive to avoid being pressurized by Simon Allen, and Jumbo is now side by side with him at the chicane. Jumbo is side by side with him at the chicane. Diogo Silva is trying to hold on to it, and he does hold on to it a little bit off track, but recovers the position. Recovers third place. Simon Allen lost a bit of time there at the chicane watching this battle. Let's have a look at things from his perspective, because maybe he's had a bit of a moment there. Diogo Silva, not exactly a textbook pass there off the track. If he was in Formula 1, it would be a straight penalty. As Simon Allen tried to go on the inside. Do they have contact? A little bit, I believe. Now Jumbo is ahead. Oh, Diogo Silva gets bumped there by Simon, does not lose it, and then slightly or completely off the track ends up overtaking Jumbo and going back into third place. By the way, Delphi Moura is only 0.4 of a second ahead of Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus is coming with a very strong lap. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the fastest lap of the race. Diogo Silva still holding on to that third place by the tightest of margins. Simon Allen has lost a bit of steam as well. He's now defending from Scott Davely. Darren Head still behind Peter Adrian. We'll keep an eye on that gap. In fact, he's lost 6 seconds. Something has happened to Darren Head, and not the round that he expected here either. Not the second race that he expected after having fought in the first race. He was just behind Peter Adrian. The last time we checked, he's done 1:30. So let's maybe rewind a little bit and see if something exciting has happened between these two. As we are on lap 8 out of, and yes, Darren Head has been. Something has happened to Darren Head. The question is, was there contact with Peter Adrian? And it seems to me that there might have been. Now Darren is putting pressure on Peter. He's on the inside and he's got the right to the corner. He's side by side. Peter tries to resist, and oh, Darren, is he going to? Oh, Darren lost it on his own. No contact whatsoever. No one to blame here, but Darren Head loses quite a lot of time there. Peter Adrian now in 9th. He's 9 seconds behind Stephen Franklin, that in turn is 3 seconds behind Gonçalo Mota, who is 4 seconds behind. And this is the replay from Scott Davis' perspective of the situation that we had there. You can see side by side there a little bit of bumping, and it was in fact Simon Allen that gave Diogo Silva a little bit of a boost. Simon Allen runs wide himself and now ends up having to defend from Scott. So we now have 3 groups of 2, because it's mostly Scott Davely battling with Simon Allen, Diogo Silva battling with Jumbo, and Delphi Moura battling with Jorge Jesus. It's going to be fascinating, the second half of this race, as Simon Allen runs wide again there at the penultimate corner. And of course now tire wear becomes a little bit of an issue. Completion of lap 8 out of 15. We are firmly on the second half of this race, and we have very exciting battles here at the front still, with nothing decided for any of the positions. As we go back to our race leader, Delphi Moura. He's won 3 in a row. Can he make it 4 in a row? And look at this, Jumbo has had a poor exit there. Jumbo has had a poor exit. He has lost touch with Diogo Silva. He's found a new BFF in Simon Allen that is now all over the back of Jumbo, and this is a battle for 4th place, as Simon Allen is not going to be shy of going on the inside there at the chicane. He thought better about it because he saw he was not fully alongside. He's running off the track as well. Scott Davely wants a piece of that action as well, and definitely is keen on improving his current position of 6th. The gap at the front is 7, almost 8/10 of a second. And he's quite curious how Simon Allen was so close to Jumbo, now seems to have lost a couple of car lengths, and in fact now it's Simon Allen that is under more pressure from Scott. That number 11 is the ever-aggressive Simon Allen, running in 5th place. Will do. And by the way, John Scott has retired from the race, So now Kev Allen is running in 12th, 11th is David Emge, 10th is Darren Head, after that off 9th is Peter Adrian, 8th is Gonçalo Mota, 7th is Stephen Franklin. So we'll concentrate our views on the top 6 and where the closest battles are. We'll keep an eye on 7 to 13 to see if there are any changes in the leaderboard. Nevertheless, look at this. Jumbo is again under severe pressure from Simon Allen, and this time around Simon is going to go for it. I believe he's going to go for it. He's going to run side by side through the chicane, and a little bit close there. Simon Allen off the track, but completes the pass. Again, he's one of those that we just let go, because the racing was not bad at all here, and it was clean, and everyone gave each other space, but no temptation on penalizing Simon Allen. Look at this is incredible stuff as Jumbo is coming back at him, and Scott Davely now is losing a bit of patience as well, potentially, as Simon Allen tries to hold on to that 4th place, and this of course is allowing Diogo Silva to gain a little bit of a cushion ahead of these 3 drivers. Completion of lap 10, so 2/3 of the race are complete, 5 laps to go. And Simon Allen has had a very good exit there from the last corner. It's now Jumbo that is being put under pressure from Scott Davely, who is going to go for it. He thought about it. Jumbo defends, no opportunity this time around, and now Jumbo is almost losing it there. Almost lost it. That was the start of a spin, but fortunately he managed to hold on to that one. And it's amazing stuff in this race. We've had battles pretty much everywhere. The gap at the front is now a second, and Diogo Silva is 1.8 seconds behind. Jorge Jesus seems that he will have to settle for 3rd, and maybe Simon Allen is going to come after him later on in the race. Simon looking good in terms of pace, if not in terms of consistency, as now Jumbo is defending from Scott Davely, who is interested in that top 5 position. And and so Gonçalo Mota has had a problem. He's dropped back, and it happened on this lap, because his last lap was a 1:27.23, which is actually quite a competitive time. But what on earth happened to Gonçalo? Maybe it was in turn 1, was it? It logically would be in turn 1, unless no, in fact it happened the lap before. So we're not going to rewind another lap at this point, after all the action that we've seen, just running a bit out of time. Nevertheless, Stephen Franklin ahead of Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo is coming after him, but now he's got a bit of a gap there of 6 seconds, which may not be easy in the 4 laps that remain in this race. Jorge Jesus is coming after Delphine Moreau. Keep an eye on that gap. It was a second, 1.1, now down to 7/10 of a second, so maybe this race is not over, but certainly not over in the battle for 5th spot. No other close battles behind, as Scott Davely now again is with a very good exit from the last corner, and Jumbo goes defensive, as he is entitled to do. 4 laps to go in this race, and Scott Davely is going to go for it. No, he's not going to go for it, and he is again stuck behind Jumbo. He seems to have a bit more pace. He just cannot find a way to overtake around this Watkins Glen short circuit. Another lap is in the books, so now it's going to be 3 laps when we cross the line. Let's have a look at the lap times of everyone. Well, everyone from 7 to 12 is running competitive times. David Emge in 11th place has done a 1:22. He's 10 seconds behind Darren Head, but almost 10 seconds ahead of Kev Allen, who's not having the race that he wanted after a strong race 1. Gap at the front is 1 second again, so Delphine Mora has had a poor lap, but now he's recovering, so we'll see the lap times now. And Delphine Mora going for 4 in a row, as we continue to follow the wheel-to-wheel battle between Scott Davely and Jumbo. Oh no! Oh, and this is no! They might not lose any positions, but this is a disaster for Scott Davely again, getting caught up in an incident. And there goes Stephen Franklin, and I think that Jumbo just lost it. We might just get the replay just quickly, but it seems to me that again Scott Davis the innocent victim, but Jumbo also clearly did not want to lose it, and yes, that's that curb again, and no one used the reset button, which is good to see. And Stephen Franklin, is he going to go after Scott Davely? And Stephen Franklin doing quite a good race, very consistent driving from him and avoiding any mistakes, and that's paying dividends so far because he's very close to 6th place. The gap at the front is increasing now to 1.3 seconds momentarily, as Delphi Moura goes for 4 in a row in this championship. By the way, Simon Allen is much closer to Diogo Silva as well. Simon Allen is under a second there. Diogo Silva already going defensive there on the straight to avoid the drafting effect. And look at this, his tires are absolutely finished, and so are Simon Allen's. But still something to go for here, a podium potentially. But look at this, there's the gap just keeps moving from under a second to over a second, and we can still see the top 4 in the same screen, with the 5th place man Jumbo running a few seconds behind. Scott Davely, by the way, has maintained his 6th position, so no problem there, but now he's well behind Jumbo. He's lost a lot more time with that incident, as he had to reverse back into the normal direction of this course. Diogo Silva again going defensive on Simon Allen, and very interesting to see what's going to happen on the back straight between these two. A couple more laps to go as we watch the parking lot of the Watkins Glen short circuit. We had a pretty good crowd here in America in what is going to be the last race with the Ginetta, the next 2 rounds of this championship. The first time that we've done that in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. We're going to change the car to the Renault Clio Cup, and it's going to be quite interesting to see that car around Long Beach and around Sonoma, as Delphi Moura has again now he's losing a lot of time there. He's losing a lot of time, and he's losing the lead of the race. Oh no, Delphi Moura, this is incredible. His tires are absolutely gone. He missed the first part of the chicane, he missed the second part of the chicane, and Jorge Jesus managed to take the lead of this race just before the final lap. But this is not over. This is absolutely not over. We have 1 lap to go. That number 22 could have his first win of the season, but Delphi Moura, a rare mistake from him, and look at this now. Can he do anything about it? The last lap is about to start now, and Jorge Jesus unsurprisingly going defensive into turn 1. Now the big thing is going to be surely the run into the chicane. That's going to be absolutely key, but this is incredible. We'll keep an eye on other battles, of course, but look at this. Jorge Jesus is all over the place. Jorge Jesus is all over the place as well. His tires are completely gone. He was almost losing at the exit of turn 1, and this of course allows Delphi Moura a very good run into the chicane. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. By the way, Diogo Silva has checked out from Simon Allen. The gap is 1 second, so that should be it. But here at the front, that should not be it, because a little bit of weaving there from Jorge Jesus trying to hold on to that lead, as Delphi Moura does not make a move into the chicane. Maybe he's saving his efforts for the exit of the chicane, which is now he's got a much better exit, but not quite the opportunity to make the move into this very long corner. Now this is probably the last opportunity of the race, as we have incredible racing here at the end in Watkins Glen. As now, is Delphi Moura going to go for it or not? Is he going to go for it? He's close but not side by side, and he has to watch as Jorge Jesus takes the penultimate corner. Now can Delphi Moura go for one last lunge in the last corner? The answer is no, and it's going to be it unless Jorge Jesus messes up the exit of this corner. It's going to be very close, but it's going to be Jorge Jesus winning from Delphi Moura. What a finish. Third is going to be Diogo Silva, fourth is going to be Simon Allen, fifth is going to be Jumbo, sixth is going to be Scott Davely, after that chance, seventh is going to be Stephen Franklin, eighth is going to be Gonçalo Mota, running very wide there at the end, trying to gain some ground, but didn't quite work to challenge for 7th. 9th is going to be Peter Adrian, and Peter Adrian is being put under severe pressure right down. No! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is at the end of the race. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. They both maintain their positions, or do they? we'll get a replay of this incident, because, well, something that we were not expecting to see. They're almost entering pit lane, and let's see this from Darren's perspective. Well, they almost went into pit lane, as Darren is on a different line, because clearly Peter has run wide there. He's coming back into the track as he's entitled to do, but now Darren is hoping to do a bit of a switcheroo and to get the position by just going on the inside of the last corner, except that, and then I'm not sure who ran into whom, as Darren was also sliding, but nevertheless they are going to point to the same piece of real estate. And do they lose any time? Well, they lose time, but not any position. So they maintain their relative positions there of 9th and 10th. 11th is David Emge, and 12th is Kev Allen, and that's going to complete the race with George Zuz, the first-time winner in this championship, followed by Duffy Mora, followed by Diogo Silva. What a race we had. That completes coverage of Watkins Glen. Keep an eye for the next few races, this time with the Clio Cup. Until then, it's goodbye.